Welcome to Barbies and Baby Dolls, where I talk about dolls. Big and small, I love them all. My name's Becca, and let's get this video started. So, today I have a little bit of a story time, and then I also want to put out some feelers on one of my dolls that I think I want to sell. So, the last few months have been rather stressful. If you live in the United States, we got a new president. His inauguration was in January. And since then, there's been a lot of turmoil within the country. Just a lot of things going on. The main thing is the large cuts taken from the federal government and federal workers. So that's been rather stressful for me and my family. My husband is a veteran. He's also worked for the government for about 20 years. And the last couple months were really, really scary for us. We thought we were going to lose everything, basically, because he is the breadwinner. Like, I do work, but my paycheck can only go so far. I'm more of a cover the groceries and, food and entertainment, as I like to say. I definitely can't cover our mortgage. So the last few months have been really scary for us, not knowing if my husband was going to still have a job. Luckily, thank goodness, his job for now has been spared. But the last few months it's been a lot. I've never felt this hopeless and helpless before in my life. We're going to be 45 this summer. We've worked really hard for what we have now. We have a beautiful home in Columbia, Maryland. We chose to raise our son here because it had the best schools, and it's kind of an expensive place to live, really. And we were scared that, if my husband lost his job, then we would lose this house. And I have fought and worked really, really hard to be able to have my own little piece of America. I have a little yard, a fenced-in yard that my dogs can run around in. My son, he had the opportunity to have a backyard and to be able to have a big dog. Because we first were raising him in a condo, and then we bought this house because he always wanted a big dog. And we could only have a big dog if we had a big yard. So we got the yard, and the house was, when we bought it, it was a flip. So everything was brand new on the inside. I almost kind of feel sometimes like I don't even really deserve the house because it's so pretty. It's really not. It's a blue house. It's like a split level house. So has hardwood floors and new appliances and stuff like that. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not really fancy, but it is on our, was on the higher side of our budget. So with the likelihood of my husband losing his job, we kind of freaked out. We freaked out like hardcore. And I've been just sick for like 3 months now. You would never know because all my videos that I've put out are usually lighthearted and fun, but I kind of felt like coming on today and just, sharing a little bit more deeper side of myself. And so first we freaked out. And then we started thinking about things, and we went back, we looked at all our expenses that we do or have. We don't live a very frivolous life, but we definitely do spend more money than we really need to. So we started looking at budgets. We started looking at maybe going to different grocery stores to save on groceries. Go more to the Lidl or the Aldi's or something instead of just getting everything at one grocery store and just paying whatever price it is. We really just started crunching numbers, and then I looked at my doll collecting and how maybe for the rest of the year that was going to be put on the back burner because it's not a necessity, especially if my husband was to lose his job. And also we would have to sell our house. We wouldn't be able to afford to live here anymore. And my son only has like a month and a half left of school, and he graduates. He's going to be 18 and stuff like that. So at first I was freaking out because I didn't want somebody to come in and like take what I have, because I've worked hard for it. You know, all of us, and I want to say this has affected tons and tons of people, and it absolutely breaks my heart for people that have lost their jobs or have no other choices or don't have any backup plans and stuff like that. It absolutely breaks my heart. Even the other day when they finally went through his agency and did a big clean out and my husband was still spared, I still didn't really feel relief because I knew of all the people that it was affecting and how it's just breaking people's spirits, people's livelihoods. Basically, that was always the thing. Like, you grow up, you get a government job, and that was the best thing to do because you'd get a pension and you have good health insurance. That was always the goal. Like, when I think of the American dream, it was to get, to be stable in a job and security and stuff like that. So anyways, so it's been just a hot mess, and my heart just breaks for everybody that are going to be affected with even going forward. Because who knows, in 6 months they might decide that they want to cut more federal jobs. I don't know. And also, I live in Maryland, DC, Baltimore. We are where like the government jobs are. Like, when I thought of how many people they wanted to let go and fire, like, that would infect entire communities, entire neighborhoods and stuff like that, because this is where the government jobs are. We are here. We're in Maryland. We're in DC. We're in Virginia. Like, it would be catastrophic for even all the surrounding businesses, the food places, all this stuff. Anyways, we all know I don't need to preach all this stuff. But anyways, I've just been under a tremendous amount of stress. And then when we were gonna, like, my husband's gonna lose his job and we were gonna have to sell. But then we started thinking about it, and we were looking at the life that we have right now, and it's a beautiful life. But you know what? We could actually live a lot more simple. And come to find out, my son doesn't even really like to live here. He wants to live in a city. And that's the thing. We paid to live in a expensive town with beautiful trails and woods. We have woods everywhere and trees. And he went to the best public schools around. And then come to find out, the kid, he wants to live in the city. So instead of thinking about all the changes happening in the world, we were thinking about just our little family and how we could still have a beautiful, amazing life. And we're going to use all this turmoil as an opportunity. So we're pretty much, even though we don't necessarily have to sell our house, we're pretty much going to do that anyways. Because we found out that, we could sell this house at a good, decent price, make a profit, and then go buy a beautiful townhouse in Baltimore, and our mortgage would be significantly lower, and our quality of life wouldn't really have to change. So yeah, we're trying to take this as an opportunity. As much as it was so much turmoil and just aching in my heart or whatever, I think we're ready. We're going to take this as a new opportunity and a chance to try something new. So the last few weeks or so, we've been looking at different places up in Baltimore, and we've found some cool places, but nothing perfect quite yet, because we're in like a 2,000 square foot house now, so we're going to be downsizing. We still have 3 dogs, but my son is super excited. My husband's really excited. I took a little bit more time to come on to the idea, but I guess I'm kind of excited now too. So, my doll rooms are going to look a little different, I'm sure. We've started to, pack just a few things, because if we find a place, we'll have to move quick on it, because things are selling like hotcakes in Baltimore. And a lot of these houses are gorgeous. They're they're row homes, they're townhouses, they're beautiful in the inside, like completely gutted and redone, like beautiful stuff inside. And my husband, his dream is to always live in like a brownstone in New York City. There's no way in hell we would ever afford that, because that's like in the millions. So, you know, we're compromising. We're going to try to find a townhouse, or a row home, I should say, in Baltimore. And yeah, it's been really fun going up there, just exploring the city. And that's the thing, I've lived in Maryland for 21 years? Yeah, 21 years. And we've lived in Columbia for about 20 years. We lived in an apartment first, then we bought our condo, and then about 6 years ago we bought the house that we're living in now. So we've stayed in Columbia for like, you know, almost 20 years. So, but yeah, it's been really fun to explore Baltimore and stuff like that, and just look at new stuff and think of new opportunities. And just the thought of having a lower mortgage is very like freeing, because then we'll have more opportunities to go maybe travel some more, go on some more fun adventures or whatever. Or the mere fact that if in 6 months they decide to cut more jobs, it's okay, because we'll have a mortgage that if one of us loses a job, the other one can actually pay for. So it's been really wild, and I've just been sick. In normal life, I deal with anxiety and depression, and this has not been fun at all. So that's been kind of rough. But anyways, some other things that I have been thinking about and like just mulling over, and I also am thinking about my doll collecting. And the last couple weeks or whatever, I've gone through my Barbie collection and some of my other dolls that I just like have on display, like my 12-inch dolls or 11-inch dolls, I guess that's the size of Barbie or whatever. I've looked at those items too, and I've just kind of came to the fact that I don't really need a ton of stuff just on display. Like, I really want to pare down some of my collections to things that I literally touch every day or every other day, that I want to play with. I want to redress them and stuff like that. So I have Macari. I've had Macari for several years, and I've sold tons of stuff on there because I used to collect Legos hardcore. I've sold like tons of Legos on there. Just random stuff throughout the years. And I've just listed a bunch of like Monster High dolls, some Barbies, some other random dolls on my Macari page. And I've sold a bunch of that kind of stuff. And because yeah, especially if we'll be moving, I don't want to be moving a ton of stuff. And also I really want to just kind of live in the now and stuff like that, and not have so much stuff. So is always a collector. I'll be collector until I'm sure the day I die, but I need to cycle through my collection so that I don't feel so overwhelmed. So that comes to my reborn dolls. Now, so I have a handful of reborn dolls that I love them all to death. I've had some that I've sold and I've kept. I've had, Paradise Galleries I've all sold and stuff like that. But when it comes to my reborn dolls, there's just a few that I gravitate towards. They're not the most expensive ones in my collection. They're actually some of the cheaper ones in my collection, that when I'm having a tough day and I just want to cuddle a doll or dress a doll, I kind of gravitate towards them. So I was looking at my dolls and I was thinking of ones that I could sell. Hold on. Oops, I'm back. I had to step away for half a second. But anyways, so I was thinking of the dolls that I have that would be good to put out there, see if someone would want to purchase one. I personally only have authentic reborns. I have nothing against any other kind of doll. If you want, if you collect authentic, unauthentic, any of that stuff, I don't care. If you love your doll, I love your dolls. I don't care. But personally myself, I only collect painted, artists rendered, authentic dolls. Because I feel like if I'm going to spend the money, whether it be $100 to $1,000 or whatever, I want it to be maybe something that, might have, a little bit more value later on. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, I have no idea. I don't have replicas. I don't know if they go for more. I have no idea. But in my head, I just think if I'm going to spend money on it, I want it to be something that maybe if I try to resell later on, it might hold some value. I don't know. But that's, you know, I don't care what anybody else does. But anyways, so one of my dolls that I've had, it's been about a year that I got her. She's absolutely gorgeous. She is the Erica kit, the Erica kit. Here, let me put you down here. Let's see if we can get her in the frame. If not, I might have to adjust the camera some, perhaps. So yeah, so this beautiful little girl, she's absolutely gorgeously painted. She has painted hair. She is 7 pounds. She's about 7 pounds. She's very heavy. Her head's very floppy. She has a lot of floppiness in her chest. She's very heavy. And I absolutely love her. I found this kit and she was kind of like on my list of something that I really wanted in my collection. And I looked for months or whatever to find her. And then I finally found her at she is painted by Shara Gallo of Mia Maria's Nursery. And she's stunning. Honestly, she has beautifully painted hair. Her face kind of has a little bit of like a rashiness, like on the eye. She has beautiful mottling. I'll take the camera down in a minute and maybe do some more close-ups of her. But yeah, she's got the cloth body. Her little toenails and fingernails are tipped. She's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, she comes with, I have her COA. She is number, I think, M71. It says limited edition of 1550. But yeah, that's her COA. And then there was like a little, it did come with a certificate of birth. This is what the artist sent. It actually has my maiden name on there just because my PayPal still has my maiden name on it. I just never changed it. But yeah, and then there's like this little sheet that it comes with, this little Mia Marie art dolls from the heart. And it's just her little, thing on how to care for your doll and stuff like that. So I will send that stuff. And let's see. So the baby was born. So she was born April 29th, 2024. And I believe I bought her like that May. I think she had only been on her page for like a couple weeks or whatever. I've changed her a few times. She mostly just sits in a little bassinet. But she's absolutely in perfect condition. She doesn't have any paint rubs on her. Actually, the last 3 months, she's just been in this onesie. I think since like Christmas, she's just been in this onesie, just sitting in the bassinet. So, but yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. She really is. But when I think about her, when I think about grabbing a baby to go cuddle with, I don't ever really grab her. But yeah, so she's got a nice cloth body. Let me see. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and so I'm just sitting in my, is the AC on? That's weird. I think our AC is on, which is kind of bizarre because it's like 40 degrees outside. Anywho, so yeah, let me take this off the tripod. Here, let's see if I can. Okay, let's see here. Oops, sorry. I probably just showed you guys a bunch of random stuff. I was taking the camera off. Okay, so she's on this little bed over here in the natural sunlight. The sun's coming in through the window. You know what? Let me adjust her a little bit. Okay, here we go. So she's kind of in the sunshine here. But yeah, there's her beautiful little face, and she has these really like super light brown, light blondish brown eyelashes that are rooted. And she's got little red ears. And on her face, like right over here, there's like just a little bit of redness, a little bit of rashiness. It looks very realistic. Let's see. And then, let's see, can we see? She's got a little toesies. They're a little tipped. She has really light mottling and veining. Yeah, let's put her in the sunshine. And yeah, so this artist, she just does a beautiful job. I got the doll off of reborns.com. You can check out her site. It's Mia Maria's Art Dolls, and it's Shara Gallo is the artist. But yeah, she's just absolutely beautiful doll. She's very heavy. But yeah, so I was thinking, I think I paid like close to $700 for her. I was thinking of doing like $450 shipped, and I'll cover shipping. I'll probably add a few items. Obviously she would be wrapped completely up in a nice blanket. This little girl, her name is Juniper in my nursery, and this is her little blanket. Actually, it says Juniper all over it. But yeah, I would have her wrapped up in a nice blanket, make sure she's nice and protected. And then we could do PayPal. I might even list her on Mercari. I'm not totally sure. But you guys, I will put my email address down in the description if you want to ask any questions, or you want me to send you any kind of photos or whatever. And of course I would want to do, goods and services. That way we're all protected and everything like that. So obviously I'll lose a little money in the sale, but you guys, when you'd be protected also. I would want it to be a good experience. Like I said, I have sold a few of my dolls in the past, and I haven't had any issues. I've sold them on Mercari. So, but yeah, so it's just been a lot has been going on. My brain has kind of been on overdrive. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see up her nose. Almost looks like there's like dark paint up there. It almost looks like you can see up her nose. But yeah, she's a very beautiful doll. And I do love her to pieces, but like I said, I'm just trying to simplify my life a little bit. I know there are some other dolls that I've seen that I of course want to purchase. I'm kind of on like a buying freeze right now though, so it probably wouldn't be for a while. I'm thinking maybe of a silicone doll. I'm not 100% sure. We're just trying to get through the next few weeks, get through my son's graduation and him turning 18 in how many days? What's today? He'll be 18 in 11 days. No, that's not true. 9 days. I can count 9 days. But anyways, so yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know if anybody's interested in purchasing her. I don't want to haggle too much or whatever, because I did pay, some decent money for her. She's not a cheap doll. She's stuffed beautifully. She's heavy. She's painted gorgeously. But yeah, so let me know what you're thinking. Like I said, I'll put my email address down in the description. And yeah, that's kind of all I have for today. Oh, I should mention though, we have reached 202 subscribers, so I will be putting up a giveaway video soon for another one of my crocheted dolls. But yeah, so like I said, it's been kind of crazy the last couple months. My heart goes out to anybody that's been affected by any of these layoffs and firings and all that stuff, and my heart is just really broken right now for all of United States, because there's just so many things happening right now. Regardless of what your beliefs are, there are certain things that are happening that are it's just not good. But anyways, that's all I have for today. Yeah, I will just talk to you guys all later. Talk to you later. Bye.